Is it just me, or did suddenly everyone start reviewing this gimbal recently? Now, I've been using the RS3 Mini for the past like year and a half, and it's been really good. Like 8.2 out of 10 good, but it hasn't been great. So a couple weeks ago, I reluctantly spent the $500 on this, the RS4 gimbal, and then all of a sudden everybody started coming out with reviews for it, even though it's been out for like a year almost, which made me feel a little bit better, because then I was like, all right, so DJI is probably not releasing a new one if they're trying to push this old one so much. So I'll let you know what I think about it after using it a couple times and how it compares to the RS3 Mini. And any questions you have on comparing the two, just leave a comment below. Now, I've used it already for real estate and for weddings, but is it worth it? So what makes the RS4 special, and why did I get it? There are three main things. Now, as a wedding filmmaker, one of the biggest things that I needed improved from the RS3 Mini was battery life. Way too many times I was stressing like, oh, this battery is dying and dying quickly. So I either need to plan strategically on when I'm using the gimbal and when I'm not, or bring an extra battery charging pack to charge the gimbal, because the battery grip is not removable on the RS3 Mini. Now, it could be because I had a heavier setup, could be because I was using a zoom lens, so it's never like a perfect balance with a zoom lens. Either way, it was stressful always looking at that gimbal and seeing how quickly that battery was dropping. Now, the RS4, I got the regular RS4 package, so it comes, one, the grip is removable, and two, the battery life is great. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'm gonna put it right over here, long enough that I don't have to worry about it. And then if you wanted, you can either buy the more expensive package, which is the RS4 Pro, and it'll come with the extended grip, or you could just buy the extended grip separately for about 150 bucks, and that gives you another, I wanna say it's 30 hours of battery life, something insane like that, where you will not have to worry. Now, number two, I was annoyed with having to lock the motors or lock the arms every single time I put the RS3 to sleep, the RS3 Mini to sleep, or wanted to turn it off to try and save some of that precious battery life. It seems so small, but once you put the gimbal to sleep, then the camera's all loose and wiggling all over the place. Not a huge deal, of course, but it was just more of an annoyance thing, especially knowing that the RS3 and later, so RS3 and RS4, they have the locking arms automatically when you put it to sleep or when you turn it off. I knew the technology was there. I knew what I was missing, so that was another piece that was always in the back of my mind, like, oh, if I get a new one, these would lock. And I know I'm mentioning the RS3 Mini a lot, but that's the direct comparison I have for this. That's the gimbal that I used the longest. I had the RSC2 before that, and that's what I'm comparing it to before I decide if I'm keeping this or returning it. Now, reason number three was for vertical shooting, which ironically is exactly why I picked up the RS3 Mini instead of the RS3. The RS3 Mini has the first generation of vertical shooting, so you can remove one of the arms, reattach it another direction, and it allows you to balance your camera vertically without having to buy any accessories or anything like that. I used vertical shooting so infrequently that usually I forget how to do it, and I have to look it up every single time that I want to do it, which then makes me not want to use the gimbal for vertical shooting. It's not often that it's needed, but when it is needed, I know it's something that I have to like, oh, all right, I got to look this up first. The RS4, super easy. You literally just take the arm off, flip it vertical, put it back on. It's even so close to being balanced that technically you probably could get away with not balancing it again and just flying it that way. You should balance it. It's really close. It'll either be a very quick balance if you did want to take the time to do it, or it's so close to being balanced, calibrate the motors and then go. A bonus for you is it is noticeably smoother than any other gimbal that I've used. Now, it could be because this is a heavier gimbal than any of the other ones that I've used, so the balance is a little bit better, or it could be because it's the new algorithm that DJI uses to balance and stabilize your camera. And speaking of balance, it is very smooth to balance. The arms just glide, and it is definitely less of a headache to balance, and with the knobs on it, which again was in the RS3 as well, not the Mini, but the regular, it just makes it very, very easy to make those fine-tune adjustments. Now, walking with it, even though it's a heavier gimbal, it feels smooth. It feels very well balanced. I like that you have the option for dual attachments, so that way I'd probably go with the two arms like this, carry the gimbal this way instead of holding it like this, or back like this here. DJI really has been making some very quality products that I'm late to the game on most of them. I just picked up this gimbal. I just picked up the Osmo Pocket 3, which is great, and the DJI Mic 2. Next up, I'm probably gonna pick up the Mini 4 drone. So let me know what you would like to see videos on next. If you want it to be something more like this, a product review, some more hands-on in the field, let me know. I'll have a couple links in the bio if you wanna help a small channel out. Like and subscribe for more. Catch you on the next one.